Good morning and welcome to Breakfast Xtra this Saturday morning. Now, this week we're starting with a very serious topic, so forgive me if today's monologue comes without its usual wry humor. Over the week, Canada's Prime Minister Mark Carney stepped forward and did what many world leaders have been avoiding. He said the quiet part out loud. He ripped off the Band-Aid. He took down the sign that said open for business and he replaced it with the one that says enter at your own peril. Now, in one speech at Davos, Carney made it clear that the world global order is over. And for Africa, that message carries serious implications. So, let's talk about what Davos really gave us. Mark Carney said something this last week that made a room full of powerful people, world leaders, suddenly stop smiling. He said the old world order is over, not changing, not being fixed. It's over, it's gone, it's extinguished. That was awkward, because Davos exists on the idea that the system might shift a little, but it will always survive because of courtesy. Countries can be polite to one another, even when they know that their interests are selfish, that they can smile to one another while bending them over and not backwards. Carney said no. He said the truth is this. The rules were made and told to us to believe only for the strong countries. They followed them when it helped them, they broke them when it did not, and now they are no longer even pretending. The nice language is gone, it's over. What Carney was really saying is simple. The world is no longer about working together. The world is about who has power. Trade is no longer friendly, money is no longer neutral, even climate talks now come with plenty of pressure and also demands. So, the world has split. It's split into groups, security groups, it's split into trade groups, technology groups. Countries are picking sides, supply chains are being rearranged, and nations are no longer judged by good intentions, but by what they control. That is today's world. Now, let's talk about Africa and how we play here. In this new world order, Africa has suddenly become very important. And that should make us alert, because when everyone wants your attention at once, it usually means you have something they need. Africa no longer needs to pretend that it's bringing something or anything at all to the table, and that's because Africa is the table. Africa has minerals the world cannot build its future without. It's got energy resources everyone is chasing, land and sunlight for food and power, and a young population that will still be working long after others have grown old and died. Let's say it. Yes, see, Africa matters now. But attention comes with pressure. Because in this era, nobody's coming to help you for free. They're coming with deals, long deals. Deals that sound friendly, but quietly, they tie your hands. They'll smile in public and tough talks will happen in private. And this is where Carney's warning actually becomes very useful. When powerful countries compete, they stop taking others for granted. And for once, Africa is not being ignored. Africa is being bargained with. And this is good news for us, if and only if you understand your value as an African country. Because having power is useless if you do not use it wisely. Now, let's bring it home here to Nigeria. In this new global order, where exactly does Nigeria stand? Are we clear about what we want, what we bring to the table? Or are we still relying on old friendships and big grammar? So what does our relationship with the United States, for instance, really mean today? Let's take that as an example. At its core, it's not about friendship, it's about interest. America, like every other major world power, does not partner out of sentiments. It partners where it sees value. Yes, Nigeria gains access, we gain security cooperation, investment signals, and global relevance. But those things matter, I agree, but they're not gifts. They come with expectation. And that is the hard part. We often adjust our policies, our trade position, even our global votes to say, oh, we're in good standing with you. And we open our markets, we wait for our turn, we comply. Usually without asking, what exactly are we getting in return? So the real question is this: who is setting the rules now? And are we walking into these relationships with clear demands and clear limits? Or are we, Are the terms already being set before we arrive there? We're just too grateful to be included. Because in today's world, respect does not come from history or handshake. It comes from leverage. And Nigeria has leverage. It has population, energy, geography. It's got influence in West Africa. The problem is not that we lack value. It's that we never always insist on it.